Hey guys, got another video review here for you on the Benchmade Model 32 Morpho. I had plenty of people ask me to do a specific review on this knife, and I haven't up till now because I had another video which I usually refer people to, which is a comparison between the BM32, the BM42, and the Spyderco Spiderfly. And in that video I kind of go over a lot of this knife, but you know, people keep requesting it, so the last person to actually request this was someone who goes by the name, I believe it's Mondo Mongo. So this video is, you know, for him or her, just because they were the last person to ask. So anyway, I have it here next to the Benchmade Model 42 to give you a size comparison right off the bat. You know, if you do own a 42, you can see the difference here. Okay, and then of course open. You have put the handles even, kind of pan down. Okay, so I actually did a printout of the specs directly from Benchmade's website, which is simply benchmade.com, benchmade, excuse me, .com. So let's see, specs. This knife is in the blue class. You know, they have a red class, a blue class, black, and then gold. And it's in that order from cheapest to most expensive for elaborate knives. Blade length is 3.25 inches. It is D2 tool steel, which has a Rockwell hardness of 59 to 61. Total weight is 2.7 ounces. Overall length, you know, so open, the knife is 7.29 inches long, and closed, it's 4.39 inches long. Retail price is $240. But I can tell you now, you're never going to pay the full $240 unless you order it directly from Benchmade. Average price on these online and in knife stores are between, I'd say, $130 and $150. There's 4 versions of this knife. You have plain edge satin finish. You have plain edge black finish. Then, of course, you have partially serrated satin and partially serrated black. There's black G10 handle scales. Okay, the actual liners on this knife are anodized blue titanium, as well as the pocket clip is anodized blue titanium, and it has a laser etched, the Benchmade logo is on there. Not the butterfly, but the word Benchmade in block letters, what they use, which obviously you can't make out because I can't get good close detail. But I find this knife to be a great user knife. It's fun flipping. I'm going to admit it's a lot harder because it's smaller. I would not recommend this for a beginner flipper. You know, just because of the fact, yes, it's going to be a little bit harder to flip because it's smaller. Not enough as much handle to hold on to. But once you get used to flipping and get this in your hand, it is a lot of fun. Very smooth. I love the feeling of G10. Obviously, it's a lot lighter. Instead of being all metal. It is spring latch, meaning that once the latch is closed, to open it, you can just squeeze the handles together. Okay, that pops right open. Actually, it's kind of fast. It popped open, then came right back. Try that again. I did it again. But anyway, it is spring latch. Once this knife is open, I'll show you how this works in here. So you have. Let me see if I can explain this. I kind of went over this in the other video too. The technology that they use for this one, Benchmade calls next generation kicker pin technology. And basically, the actual liner itself, the titanium liner, it's I guess it's split. In other words, there's a cutout in it, so it made it into 2 pieces, and there's a little pin that goes across here. And the bottom portion of this latch is almost like a cup. Okay, like this. Imagine tip of my finger, so it's curled over. So that cup goes on that pin, okay, at some point, and then it pushes down. You can see, if you watch kind of the blue, I know it's a little bit blurry, I'm sorry about that, but if you watch the blue, as I push down here, you can see the whole liner itself is moving downwards, okay, like a spring, kind of. And that's what keeps tension on this. So when this is closed, okay, there's just a little bit of a cutout here, kind of a curve, so that sits right in there. When you squeeze the handles together, that liner wants to push the latch across. So when you push the handles together, you're releasing that pressure, and of course that's just going to shoot out on you. Okay, and that's what opens it. Of course, this will lock in the open position. Okay. Balisongs, all Balisongs are, they literally are the strongest folding knife that, or how do I want to put this? I guess it's the strongest locking mechanism on a folding knife available. There's no way this knife is going to fold on you, okay, if you don't want it to. I mean, obviously, by design, you just holding a knife is not going to let it fold or move or anything, especially when it's locked. And it's been argued a couple times different locking mechanisms are stronger than this, but to me, this is definitely the strongest. You can't get any better than this, okay, besides the fixed blade, which obviously has no lock. Let's see, what else can I say about this? It does have a D2 blade, which is a tool steel. It will rust on you a little easier than like a stainless steel that you might be used to if you're into knives. For the most part, people are used to stainless steel. But it has a very, very good edge holding capability. D2 it's preferred by many. I don't like D2 for cutting anything really, really hard, like obviously metal. Like I wouldn't cut wire with this because it's so hard. A tendency to chip the edge a little bit. It's just my personal preference. I wouldn't use this type of steel to, like I said, cut wire or cut really, really hard plastic ties. I just try to stay away from it just to avoid any edge damage. What's really, really cool feature about this is if you want to choke up on the knife, the whole spine here, back of the blade, is tapered. It's rounded completely. Okay, exactly the same way a Chris Reeve Sebenza is done, which I really, really like. Okay, so the spine is like smooth as glass. It really, no matter how, if you come in on an angle over here, you come in straight, whatever, it's smooth as glass. It's very, very comfortable, okay, to choke up on this if you need to do, some finer work. I really, really like that feature. Besides this knife, the Sebenza, like I said, is the only other knife I've ever personally seen this on. I'm sure there's plenty out there, I just haven't owned them. But I love that. Really great feature. Like I said, titanium and G10 make up the handle scales. Simple construction. I like they jeweled the titanium on the inside, which basically they sanded it in a specific pattern so that the cutouts in the G10 you can see down into the liners. It just makes for a really nice design. It makes the overall look a lot classier, in my opinion. This Balisong does not have tang pins. Okay, tang pins. Well, I don't. Benchmade 42. It doesn't. It only has one tang pin. If you see here on the bottom, this is a tang pin. Okay, and you'll see this on a lot of Balisongs. And basically, what that does, these have tang cups, so when it comes together, that pin prevents the handles from actually touching together. And of course, that gives you your space so that you can, your latch will lock nice and snug and it won't be loose on you. Okay. This Balisong does not use tang pins. Instead, it has two pins in the handle. A pin on this side, okay, and a pin on this side. As you see here, these two pins. And basically, the butt end of the tang, you see how it's that design there? The pins kind of line up in between on either side of this point. Two things which I like about this. First of all, I just like the way it functions. It functions the same way, but I like the sleeker look without a tang pin at all. I think that's pretty cool looking. But also, in the closed position, you have somewhat of a point here, which is a good improvised impact weapon. Okay, you can use this if you have some knowledge of basic pressure points and stuff like that. You can keep your knife closed, and for self-defense, use this in a non-lethal manner, which I really like. Obvious bonus, again, pocket clip. Love a pocket clip on a Balisong, especially if you want to carry it. I'm not really into sheaths. Certain knives I have sheaths for, which I really like, but for the most part I like to clip it in my pocket. So that should be it. That's the Benchmade Model 32 Morpho. Great Balisong to use. Definitely preferred by me as a user. I like the smaller Balisongs to actually carry and use. I used to own a Benchmade Model 31, which was basically a shorter version of the 42. I had a 3-inch blade. It was awesome. I carried it forever. I ended up selling it, and now I miss it because they're very hard to find. But this was a perfect replacement for me. I really like the upgrade in materials and design. So that's it. That's my review of the 32. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.